Well, 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 look who comes crawling back. Look at this girl. Smile. You're on CarCast camera. It's CarCast, Kels.
Yesterday was one of the most atrocious shows I've seen in forever.
Really? Hell yeah, this music kicks ass. The built-in mic, this is the whole setup too. I'm never gonna get the fucking mic. It's hilarious. Well, it's like relatively inconspicuous, like especially compared to what I had. Huh. The lady, so sassily. But anyway, it was the worst show you've ever seen?
It was like a bachelor party or something there.
Yeah.
And then it was like Casey Novak was hosting, but then it was all guys on the show. And it's like they were all just like playing into this like bro energy, and it was like everyone's just talking about whores and like being so sexist, and it was like and then it was like because the other comics were doing it, then the next one would do it.
Right.
And it was like I surprised how much it upset me.
Really? Interesting.
It's like just listening to dudes talk about like how dumb and slutty women are for like
Right.
I was like, this is so fucking stupid.
Right.
And just like disappointing because you think that like the world is maybe slightly improving, and it's like,
well, there seems to be some kind of backlash.
Yeah, well, and it's depressing to see that like it's just one of those moments where it's like you think that people are like decent, and then it's like you see what they truly think.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, these dudes probably do say all this horrendous shit in private.
Yes,
yeah.
Like, exactly, yeah.
Enlightened in person or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like as soon as they got permission to be pieces of shit,
yeah.
they were like more than happy to like talk. And it's like weirdly hostile being a woman in that kind of environment.
Right.
Like it's very uncomfortable to just have all these.
Well, how did Casey deal with it?
I don't know, I was like weird. I mean, she kind of started it a little bit by being like, bro show. Or like encourage it.
Right.
But they were like kind of hostile towards her, and she even was like, they were like not really into what she was doing. And then, or like they just weren't being that great of an audience for her. Do I need to go that?
Oh, this does look like a nightmare though, eh? Yeah, go left here.
She even like just said something about how she was like, they were like, the guys were being mumbly or something, and she was like, sorry, I only know like feminist words.
Right.
And it was like a joke.
Yeah.
Or it was fine, and then they just like, they got all the dudes were like, ooh, about that. It was like literally because she said the word feminism.
Right.
It wasn't actually, the joke she made wasn't really tacky or something.
Right. Wow, that's a lot of fucking cars.
Too many cars.
Why is there's a convoy?
There's not going around me. It's like so much space.
Yeah, but they're like driving a 1990s Accord or something. It's like they're not in a position to make moves.
Everybody's dead.
Oh yeah, they've just completely accepted their lot in life.
I kind of respect that.
You know, I really don't.
Whatever. Maybe they got nowhere to be.
Yeah, of course they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be driving. You know, they should have gone around. I would have.
Yeah, everyone would have. The people around them were starved.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, well, that's disheartening for sure. But it's kind of like,
it's like, I know I shouldn't really.
No, you should. You should.
It really makes me mad, and I'm like.
Yeah, but you got to combat that with comedy, Kels. That's why.
It reminded me of like the trans stuff, where it's like what you say in private matters, you know, and like.
Yeah.
What you say on stage matters, like.
Yeah, for sure.
So fucking gross.
Yeah, but lots of the YouTube culture. John just sent me some guy yesterday who is like, oh wait, Kelsey, you can't.
I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, you got to go left here. John sent me this guy, and it was like, John thought it was so funny, but this guy's just calling this chick, he's like, you dumb bitch. It's like, you dumb bitch. And it's like, he's just constantly, like it's always negative what he's doing with the audience. Like the audience is being like sort of like not like they're not being like, you know, like I mean it was hard to tell because you couldn't really hear what she was saying, but it didn't sound like sensible or whatever. Right. But at the same time, it's like whatever. She's drunk and she's in the audience and she wants to fucking have fun or whatever. Go right. So then, yeah, but the whole thing is like the audience is eating it up and they love it and shit like that. But they love just seeing somebody be bullied. Like they love seeing bullying.
Yeah, people do love that.
Because it seems like it's like sanctioned bullying. Like it's okay in this environment. Like it's very interesting. And I found it was like, you know, I just think it lacked creativity. It's like, like it was funny on a level, but also it's like, dude, it's only funny if you think that people should be talked to you like this.
It just feels lazy. But I'm like, how do I like talk about that or like make
I don't know
about that without like I don't want to be like naggy feminist bitch because that doesn't work either.
Oh man,
like,
you're flying close to the sun with that one for sure.
What?
You're already very close. You're right there. You're on the event horizon.
It's so exhausting though.
Yeah, of course. But it's like
none of these. It's like fucking think about shit. Or like, why do people not give a fuck about other people?
Yeah, right. Well, that's what's happening though. People do care less for others. But it's just like, I actually watched a very interesting program yesterday. It was a fucking way too long though, but I didn't entirely mind. But this kid built a whole thing where he's like talking about why people are, why there's so much of a grift economy now. And he said it was all, well, like his thesis or whatever is essentially that, can I turn this down? Yeah, it sounds like a good scene. Yeah, he's just talking about how the 4-hour work week kind of like set everybody into this, like it set this trajectory. Came out in like 2007 or whatever. It was like this guy's whole thing, and he had a lot of fame as a result of it and shit like that. And largely he made most of his money like from that, selling that book. It's like the classic thing where some guru is actually just getting like their well-being is derived from the book that they're selling that talks about how good they are at making money or whatever it is, right? So anyway, this guy did like a long thing, and it is very fascinating to sort of like see it from that angle and be like, oh, maybe people are really like doing that in a sense, like where they are like they're just so desperate not to have normal jobs that it's like everyone's just trying to rip everybody off. But then that's creating this culture. That's like where the Andrew Tates come from, right? It's like Andrew Tate. I mean, I'm not sure what his backstory is because I don't really know much about him or care to. But like, presumably he does the same thing where it's like people are just sending him money. You know what I mean? It's like because he's like selling this like university of like ballers or whatever, and people buy the spiel. Kels, how are you still in this lane?
Because there's so much traffic left.
You weren't aggressive enough. You had many opportunities, most likely. But anyway, yeah, and then so that's where I think a lot of that like comes, or people are like, oh, why am I not like, and it's hilariously and maybe super ironically, the Barbie movie is like making guys realize it's like, you know, maybe we should be douches, you know, maybe we should be fucking assholes. And man, if that's true, if that's what that movie created, that's very funny relative to the praise and all that shit that it's gotten. Not that I think that it's not. Yeah. Well, it's rad. Kels, you gotta be more aggro, dog.
Yeah, when?
Like right now. Look at the giant gap here.
Yeah, it's a pretty big gap.
Whoa, dude. And you didn't even make it move.
Nope. Because everyone else behind me is gonna start making moves. And...
Wow, you built a whole narrative that was never true.
I'm just really in an aggro mood today, Will.
Oh.
Sorry. My car has to be extremely boring.
No, it's gonna be riveting.
Sitting behind turning cars.
Yeah, that'd be a good car
Going
cast.
through yellow lights.
Yeah.
Never switching lanes.
Yeah. No, your response is to like, you know, you can't be. Well, I mean, I don't know how upset you are about that, or like, is this about the people From last night?
Hmm?
Is that why you're all
We'll get over that.
harumphed?
I think it's a bunch of things.
Or is it because of me?
It's part of it.
Oh. Well, whatever have I done wrong? What? An offender of sorts? I can't even imagine it. But it's like, yeah, I mean, do you think you're not emotional?
No. I know I get emotional. Everyone's fucking emotional, Will. They're humans.
Yeah, right. But I mean, some
You
more than
are
others.
emotional too.
Some more than others.
You're extremely emotional. You fucking send novels of
Turn this off
emotions
quickly.
to
Turn this
people.
off. I don't want this kind of evidence. Novels? Yeah, of course, because I was in love with you, you
Your
fucking
emotions.
asshole.
Yeah, but why are your emotions reasonable and logical, but mine
I'm a
aren't?
man. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
I wish I should have had that on camera. You don't want ice cream anymore? That's gonna be delicious.
yeah, Grand Theft Auto, the women who just
Oh,
like I just
right.
exist in the bar to like flirt and give.
Oh, yeah, right. That's interesting. That might be a good angle. Is the
But
fucking
it's
thing
like-
on? Did you see it going?
What?
The shit, is it on?
I don't know.
Hold on, let me. Oh, yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's on. That's okay.
Anyway, it's like, how do you convey to people that it's like, yeah, I think it's like hard for dudes to get because they probably haven't really experienced. Like, I don't think many dudes have experienced what I experienced last night, being in a room of mostly men,
Yeah, right.
laughing and loving, talking about what like dumb whores women are. Like that doesn't really happen to dudes, you know.
Fuck.
And then,
Well, like, I'd be curious to know what they were specifically saying.
well, like Lou was doing his jokes about fucking whores and doing drugs.
Mhm.
Now that he doesn't drink.
Like, that's what he does?
Yeah. It's just like there's none of the jokes were like women are dumb bitches. But it's like everything is. It's like anytime they're talking about women, they're either like dumb or sluts. And there's a lot of like relationships.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like
No, I know what you, or like, now I know what you mean.
I wasn't being dramatic. I like hear a lot of shit. Yesterday was like and you could feel it because like even I think Finbar said some joke and like got a chant and he was like, oh no, like he was like, oh, I didn't mean to like have this vibe, like I'm actually a progressive dude. Like he was even kind of acknowledging that he's like, oh, I've like turned this into like bros energy. But everyone, it was interesting. It was like an interesting social thing to see that like all the comics kind of got the feeling that it was like kind of permission to like be, and then it was just like super disappointing that they all like leaned into it. The one guy, Jordan, I almost wish he was there because he would have definitely said something. He's like one of the only comics I've seen be like, let's not make this a super hostile, shitty thing for
Right.
women. What do they call it? Simp?
Simp?
No, I'm just being an asshole. I like Jordan.
Yeah, well, those sentiments, I think, are largely from people who are... It's like women are a thing that it always feels like far away, like that you can't get for most men. So,
These dudes have girls.
I mean, yeah, right. But it still feels like sort of an arena that most people are not well versed in. And like, even when you have a girlfriend, it's like loads of dudes have girlfriends and have no game. You know, it's like they just happen to like hook up with some chick or whatever. So there always is kind of like insecurity that surrounds that.
Yeah, it's just like,
And the amount of dudes online who like are like don't have any respect for women because that's what makes you like not only money.
Don't think of it's the way. Sometimes it feels like certain dudes think of women the same way that a lot of people think of homeless people. Like they're there.
Hell yeah.
But they don't actually like. They aren't fully. They're like GTA characters. They're not
Right.
humans. You know.
What's this light?
What is this? A normal traffic light?
No, it's like it was on forever. It's like, dude, who was crossing?
It's very upsetting.
It was upsetting. Yeah, like they're NPCs or whatever, right?
Hmm?
It's like that they're NPCs, like they're
Well, that's why it's like so easy not to care. Like, you know.
But that's people. That's not like
No, but I feel
bros.
like true. But I feel like disproportionately, or we're way more often to view women that way, and like people that are poor, than like I think men get treated a little bit more like fully formed humans often.
Right.
And then yeah, it's just like it seemed like one of those situations where it would be like as if someone went on stage and was like, we all know trans people are, you know, like we all kind of hate them or whatever, and everyone was like, yeah,
Right,
and then
right.
all the comments were like, no, I can say what I really think about trans people.
Yeah, right.
It's like essentially what happened last night. It felt gross.
Well, do you remember what they were specifically saying about women?
Like I told like Lou doing his jokes. He just kept talking about wars.
Smart. Way to go, Lou.
And then
In terms of
making a lot of jokes about the guy getting married. Being like, alright, cover his ears, like friends, like for real though, like how many of you like don't want this to happen? Like how much does this marriage suck kind of thing?
right. Well, marriage does suck.
I know, but it's like oh, he's getting married to this bitch who like kind of trapped him or whatever vibe, you know?
All right.
Or like, how much do you hate his fiance?
Oh, like, how much do you hate her for trapping him?
Yeah.
Dude, isn't he getting married?
Yeah. He seems pretty happy.
I mean, it seems, yeah. I'm sure he's into it.
Little comic
Yeah.
talking to them, trying to make jokes about like, oh, well, let's be real, you hate her kind of thing.
Right. That sounds like just dumb.
It is dumb.
Let's be real, you hate her. Because you're going to be in a relationship with her for presumably the rest of your life.
Yeah, and women always force you to get married. Typical bitches.
They don't force me. I mean, no. Like, all that shit is like... It's that... Yeah, what is that? It's like offloading responsibility. It's like not being man enough to take responsibility for your own marriage.
Yeah, I think it's like old school.
It's like, dude, you're the fucking... Dudes
like,
are just as much a losers as girls in terms of, like, as emotional
like,
about marriage.
What is, like, embarrassing about being like, yeah, I'm in love with somebody and I want to marry them?
Well, that is embarrassing.
You're right.
No, I mean, that's how obviously loads of people feel. Like the concept that it's like, I mean, I don't know.
Secretly, these dudes, most of them, pretty stoked that someone's marrying them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty equal usually that people want to get married.
Definitely.
There's plenty of dudes that want to get married.
Yeah.
I don't know, she's also kind of boring. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's a lot more, like, human experiences or things that you could talk about that would be interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the truth is these people aren't very interesting. Like, who would focus on that?
Let's think about that with the comics, too. I was like, a lot of these are pretty young dudes.
Holy shit.
He almost killed us.
Yeah.
He almost died.
Well, I was just like peeking that right lane.
It really ruined my night.
I don't know why I'm not in that lane.
Because he almost killed us.
Well, I thought I saw a big truck in the way. No. With full hallucination.
Hallucinating to this day.
Yeah. I think
The
that.
drive lights out, right?
Yeah. Hasn't it always been out though?
Nope.
Oh really?
Just whenever. Oh, that matters.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's out.
I feel like it's tough to replace those. I'm in definitely the wrong lane again. Yeah, that is unfortunate. It is interesting, like it's very fascinating for me because I think it says a lot about how people do view themselves. It's like it is very fascinating to consider that even if they think that women are like sort of like prop pieces that exist in their world, it's like, is that how you navigate the earth? It's fascinating. But I guess it has been true for numerous people.
Well, women have quite literally been property for a long part of human history.
Mm-hmm.
Which is wild. They just have tits.
It's so beautiful, though.
Yeah, but like they're not that different of a creature,
Of men?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
To be able to be like, this is not a human. It's crazy.
But it's like, people really think that?
I don't think people like think that out loud in their head. They're not like, this is my object. But like, it's kind of like the main character thing. It's not a great example of that. Like, just never having considered that this person has like their own internal world that's as like complex as yours. I think a lot of people don't consider that. It's like, I think a lot of dudes think of like, probably are more intimate with their bros, and like really see them as like friends and relate to them and stuff. But because they don't think that women are like the same or whatever, haven't allowed themselves to like build that with a woman, or it's like a woman is there to like make you look good and to fuck and whatever. But
right.
You don't like build that intimacy with her, or it's like a different kind of intimacy, not like the same intimacy you'd have with your friends, because she's not a bro, she's not a person in the same way. I don't think it's not like, I don't think it's like blatant, like people are like, oh, she's a robot. I do think it's like deeply ingrained, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, right.
The way that we like behave or like interact with each other, And I think it would be different if you were actually like curious about knowing them as like a person, the same way you're curious about knowing a dude or something.
Well, I've traditionally always chat with chicks the same way I chat with dudes.
Yeah, but I think you're someone who's genuinely
about people. Yeah. But that's the part I don't relate to, though. I think that's the hugest part that's like difficult to even metabolize, is like, how is it that you view the world? Do you think that you are
a lot of dates
like,
I've gone on that people haven't asked me about myself. Like, or like that guy Brett who I've like hung out with. When I think about it, I'm like, I don't think he knows me that well.
Yeah.
But he never asks me anything, and we've like hung out for like since September. We were like hanging out all the time, and I was like, so it's like that, It's like he's like, oh, Kelsey's really nice.
Well, what's interesting?
But I don't think he actually like knows me or like even to ask me.
On the on the other side of the coin, that's like that lady that I went on a couple dates with, the mom or whatever, the Latina mom. Paper lady. And it's like, with Paper Lady, I'm like doing myself a disservice by asking this motherfucker questions. You know, like, because also the vibe I was getting is like, she's like, what's with these fucking questions? And that's what, it's like, is he a man who's just gonna like do, like she wanted me to fulfill the roles.
Yeah.
That it was like, so that's where you're gonna get dudes who like might express views like that, but it's like because possibly there's a reinforcing kind of echo chamber going on. Oh, Shinto shrines.
You are terrible at it.
Holy Shinto shrines.
Someone like you will.
I know.
I think it goes both ways. I think women kind of internalize that shit too. And probably like are like, I am boring, or there isn't anything to me really, you know, like I'm just simple.
Well, that was like the chick that I
was saying that the other day.
The chick who I used to fucking plow her throat, like aggressive, like she was, and you could tell she's just like, oh, she was so sexual, and like it was so nice in that way, but she was like, she said at one point, she's like, I don't think I'm smart enough for you. I'm like, what kind of a weird statement is that? And it was like uncomfortable because we're at fucking dinner, and it's like, well, where are we supposed to go from there? Like, it was tough for me to, but I immediately was like, no, like I'm like sort of like,
oh, they're like, yeah,
calling it off, and I'm like, no, I mean, I think we just like, you're into different things and stuff like that. Like, I immediately tried to wash it over, right? And then it's like, but that she was that person for like it's like, that was her experience. Like, she had like pretty bad relationships before that, like of dudes being like, you're not allowed to use the phone and shit like that, right? It's like crazy shit she was telling me. And but that's why she was probably such a fucking soldier in the bedroom, because that's what it is sad. But it was like, homie, this is like way too good for me.
You know, it also makes sense when we think about how dudes will really be into me after like a first date, because they're like, you're so like unique, and I think it is because I have like slightly more personality maybe than people they've gone out with, because I'm not any more interesting than anyone. It's like maybe I just like, or like,
no, there's a humanness. It's like,
no, I know, but I'm saying like,
I give off loads of humanness.
No, I know, but like, I think the bar is so low that
yes,
if you have it all, a bit of personality.
Yeah.
People are like, you're incredible.
Oh yeah, people think.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
If you actually put in the effort, like everybody is a fascinating weirdo creature. How could you not be?
Well, I think that's part of what fuels my personal cha. My charisma is just that. It's like people are like, they have like, there's a ness about people where they're like, oh, this is an actual person who's like looking at me in the eyes and like talking to me about, and like asking me questions and like interested, like they're anyone who's curious in another human,
who isn't just like, oh, no, I like
for sure
running and stuff. They're like, what is this? And like, oh, this is just a human.
Yeah. What I'm more like illustrating though is that
but the point that I'm trying to make,
exactly, is that exactly, Kels, thank you. Finally, if you could stop interrupting. No, it's more that to bring it, like, it's just something that like if you notice it on either side, for sure it's like less common, or I think it's like probably less common with women, but it is a weird thing to notice about other people when they're responding to your just being personable. That is like, it's an indicator of like how impersonal people really are all the time.
Sounds like a disaster.
But I don't think people view themselves as impersonable. They just don't engage others. And it's like, okay. Yeah. But they're like, if you did engage me, I'm very personable. And it's like, okay. When's the last time you engaged anyone? And it's like, never.
Yeah, and I think people are really bad at engaging each other.
For sure. And I think that's increasingly difficult because of shit like ordering food on, it's like, you don't even have to talk to your fucking delivery guy. It's like the guy just drops it off and darts. And it's like, what? There's no interaction. Like, that's wild. You could just completely socially isolate.
That's fun. Even like the church and stuff. It's like you interact with people, and you're always gonna have like funny little moments
For sure, yeah.
if you're just out there.
Yeah. Huh. Now me ripping around with this hat on?
That was very funny. I apologize for not giving it as good of a response as it deserves.
No, it's fine. There was very contentious circumstances.
It's absurd.
It's awesome. I wish that it was less lame, but this is as least
No, I
lame
think
as I can get it.
What was the more lame version?
The more lame version, you should have seen it. It was on top.
Could it possibly be?
It was way more lame. Like it's crazy how. Like I don't think people when they first look they'd be like, oh, what the like the like
You
something's
know,
going
on
on.
the back so the oils on your skin don't.
I think I might get
Will they
permanent
mess-
brain damage. I think that.
Will it not?
I think.
Will your skin not mess with the screen?
No. But it does contact it. Like what I want is a little
Does it also
barrier.
make it hotter?
It is hot. It's hot as
You know,
a
if
fuck.
you just had it slightly more forward, it would not touch your forehead, right? Yes, Kelsey, that's correct.
No, I wanted it right to my forehead. Yeah, it's
The least subtle spike.
the most conspicuous
Nobody
spike.
knows. Good day.
Oh man.
Just having my regular afternoon coffee. Not recording anything.
Oh.